Oh, hello. I'm Papa Pike, and I'm here shoutcasting MCOM in a beautiful best of three with Jade Dragons versus the Knights with my good friend Weapon. How you all doing? We're ready for a game three, Weapon.
This is what I have to work with.
Yeah, look, you know what?
Never
I felt
change.
that was swagger as all
That was
hell.
so. That was good. That was good. Yeah, you do you.
There
But
was
yeah,
no one
we
on
are.
the end of that phone call, by the
Yeah,
way. That made it easy.
yeah. But yeah, game three. We made it. Game two was a real spicy one. We saw a set do a whole lot of stuff. It was it was definitely a pretty good performance by Mr. Imposter.
Mm-hmm.
But we're here, game three. So let's see if Set, Garen, or Jax make it through the bans. I don't think they should.
There. Well, Garen is probably going to be left off finally. Like, honestly, I think he'll be left off. Don't ban that champion. It's not worth it. It's a waste of a ban.
Maybe, yeah.
We know it's strong, but it's a waste of a ban.
See, here's the thing. Like, we're probably going to see a lot of the same bands. So,
Yeah.
like, what do you if you're playing the game League of Legends, you might have heard of it, and you see a Garen locked in, what's your like go to? Because I actually don't know. My default is Gnar because it's ranged and has percent health damage. That's about it.
So you might hate me. You might hate me. My go-to against Garen would probably be a Teemo.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Just because
makes sense. I can see it.
Yeah, the second he comes running at you, blind him, and
yeah.
just run away, just skip away.
One of the oldest matchups in League of Legends and still good. But hey, I have great news. Jackson Set both banned.
We called it.
Mm-hmm.
We should be hired by the LCO, funnily enough.
Should. Yes.
But okay, so we see Victor, Jax, and Set taken out by the Knights. They really don't want Imposter to have that Set or the Jax, which is really nice to see. And Jade Dragon taking Caitlyn, Lilia, and we're still waiting on that third ban, which is Sejuani. Okay, it's a bit of a mix-up. I like it.
Yeah, so Maokai, Wukong priority have to jump up here. Wouldn't be surprised if we see either of them in the B1 position here for the Knights. It feels like the Wukong in particular has been a big one for Teziboy, so wouldn't be surprised if we see it locked down. They do, of course, love their Zaya Rakan, which remains unbanned here. Of course, Sharky, Syndra, how could we forget?
Yeah, that's a big one. They didn't prio the mid lane here because we did see that in the last couple bans that they did take the Syndra out early. So this is really nice that they're giving it over and saying, okay, Jade Dragon's like, well, we'll give Sharky his Syndra. Maybe they have something in store. You could be looking at something, but there's the Maokai pick we were talking about. I love the Maokai pick. I think it's so strong when it really shouldn't be strong, but it's just so impactful. It's a good flex. You can take it support. You can take it jungle. You can take it even top if you really feel like it. But the engage, the disengage, the champion is just so well-rounded. Little fun fact for everyone, if you didn't know, Maokai actually is an anagram for I am Oak. Oh, no way it's a Kassadin. No way it's a Kassadin. And that trumps my Oak fact. God damn it.
Okay. No, you can go back to the Oak fact, but what I wanted to say is I actually was going to be curious about the direction that they go with the bot lanes, but it looks like the bot lanes just don't matter here, because what I wanted to see from Jade Dragons is actually a bit more of an aggressive look, something that should challenge the Zaya Rakan early. Lucian Nami is not bad after the nerfs; it still works.
Yeah,
and if you're a confident Lucian player and a confident Nami player, then it's something that can go into the lane early. If you want to look for something like a Tristana as well, could work. But the Kindred locked in means that I don't even know what it means.
Kindred but there's a Tristana. Kindred locked in literally means we're going to stop this Kassadin from one-shotting late game. That's basically what that means, is if you can get that pool up early enough, the Kassadin is nullified there, and then you just got to wait it out. But then Tristana, like you said,
and then he kills you.
And then he kills you, but don't worry about it.
Damn!
We forgot about the Draven.
Worgen gets his Draven. We've got a Tristana on the other side. This is going to be explosive early game from the bot side. I love this. I want to see some engaged supports. That's all I want to see now. Give me Leona. Give me Nautilus.
Yeah.
Give me the slightly buffed Alistar. I don't care. I just want to see something that fights in the bot lane alongside these two jungle picks.
Oh, but they're deciding to ban out the Leona instead.
Stop listening to the stream.
Yeah, no, don't listen to it. And then
you guys suck.
That's so rough, man. If they put a mage in there, I'm going to be pissed. And they pick up, ban out the Lulu and the Thresh. Damn it, guys.
Neither of these work well with the Karma, but I guess the Karma's the next best thing, so you'd maybe take it on the Draven side.
I'm even thinking a Renata could be potential here.
Renata would work against at least for the Knight side, because there's more dive available on the other side. Kassadin and Maokai, if you can throw the Renata ult on top of them, even the Draven as well. But I do like this lock in. Classic combo, Alistair,
Yep.
nice and aggressive. Also has potentially the ability to shut down the Tristana buffer if you time it right. So
Mm.
it works. And what's left here? I
It's a
want something that engages, and I'm coming up short.
I don't think we're going to be seeing a Karma. I don't think Karma's the right fit for
Don't do
this
Karma.
play style. I don't think Karma's the right call. It could be a couple different things. Like we could potentially even see an Annie here, which could just blow this Draven up. Like that could potentially be a pick.
Annie could work.
But
Okay.
it's a Rel. Okay, Rel actually had a good buff. I like it.
There we go. Yeah, so that I was struggling to think of the engaged supports that you have left. Rel's not really an engaged support. She is very specifically a counter engaged support, but can work in the engaged capacity if she has her flash up. But final pick left to be picked up here, and you're actually blinding your top lane, and Renekton definitely fits the bill here. Now, on the Jade Dragon side, I would say normally, in the competitive meta, you'd be looking at things like the Gragas because that just works and it definitely fits what you want to do with the rest of the team here. But it's also Imposter. So this could be an Olaf. This could be anything.
Be
We're
anything,
just going to
man.
let the clock run down.
Yeah,
There it is.
there's your Olaf. Good call out there, Weapon. Well done. I think I don't particularly like this top matchup. I think it is going to be very bot heavy this game, but I actually wanted to see something different to the Kindred. If they were looking to get Renekton regardless on Knight's side, you want something with a bit of CC. Even an Elise would have been really nice into this. You got a lot of AD. Kindred's AD too. Like he's going to get those stacks. I feel like CC to tower dive, the Olaf would have been perfect, but Ragnarok as well counters that. So top lane feels like it's just going to be a battle of the biggest. You know what I was going to say. It's going to be one of those little things, guys. So I think bot's going to be such a big focus here, and even mid.
Yeah, for sure. I think you've absolutely nailed it. The top lane here is probably going to be left on an island, so individual skill is going to be a little bit more important there. And the Olaf largely wins that 1v1 at most stages of the game, especially once you hit level 6. You can't stun him, and he just runs you down. So maybe a little bit of attention by Syndra and Kindred up towards the top side from Sharky and Tezboy, trying to shut down a little bit of those that early aggression. But then you are very much playing down towards the bot side. I expect a party. We've seen a few of them. And Tristana, Draven, Alistair, Rel, all of these champions can fight from basically level 1. And the junglers are just going to be there to add their little bits of extra damage and crowd control. So this is going to be explosive down towards the bot side. And I'm really keen to see how this wraps up.
Look, if I'm going to be super honest, and I'm going to put a prediction out right now, I actually think Jade Dragon has it. I think Olaf is too strong into their team. If Imposter gets a good early game, he will run away with it because what can you do? The CC you have on Knight's side just is not going to cut it. He's going to walk at you. And then you've got a big cow on top of you as well. Then you've got a big tree running at you from behind too, throwing out big roots. And then a Cassidy in there to clean up with a Draven. That's killer. Yeah. I would not want to verse that. If that was me in a solo queue game, I would be dodging that game faster than you could say Albuquerque, because that is not where you want to be. Cassowin into late, Maokai's still strong early. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, it's a lot of dive threats here on the Jade Dragon side. The Maokai in particular can get through a lot of the attempts to peel with the W. But on the other side, I like what the Knights set up in terms of they have the Syndra, which is a winning mid lane matchup. And that wins heavily into the Kassadin. Even with the extra magic resist and the MR shield, Syndra is expected to win that pretty handily and will get to a point where she has enough shards that she can just straight up execute one of the tankier targets on the Jade Dragons. Has the options there. Kindred, the ability to reset the fights, and Rel, most importantly, going to be I think the controller for the battlefield. So when the Maokai and the Kassadin go in, look for locks on this Rel to pull the trigger on the ultimate at the right moment and drag them away from the team so that Tristana can do work, get those multiple resets, and have the Renekton in the front line really just occupying space. And Kelsey has been so good at that throughout this entire run in MCOM. And now that we're at the MCOM circuit, I expect that's not going to change for him. He will be a presence in team fights if he can survive this lane against the Olaf.
Yeah, I think it all comes, again, I don't want to be that guy. I think bot lane's the center focus. But I think top is going to determine this game too. If Olaf starts to lose, Renekton's going to be able to control these team fights way more efficiently. Whereas Olaf will just be like, yep, I'm going to Pock Ragnarok and run. At the same time, let's talk about this bot lane while we're getting through champion select, and let's just look at the micro plays that we're expecting. Draven wants those early leads, right? Do you think Alice is going to enable him, or is he going to be looking just to play, let's keep them away from you, we're not going to let them engage hard? What do you think is their play? What is Jade Dragon's win con in bot?
Yeah, it's an interesting sort of setup, because the Alistair actually has been classically a bit of a soft counter into the Rel. Whenever she does try to get aggressive, the Alistair just presses Q and stops her from getting that dismount W to get the knock up and then the subsequent stun. So I expect the lane is going to be a little bit Draven Alistair favored, but then you've got jungle intervention that's going to be a big factor. So I think the 3v3 is actually quite even when you add in the damage from Kindred and the mobility, the ability to run down these targets. Because remember, this is an Alistair and Maokai that go in. They don't necessarily peel. So if you don't pick your moment and then as Kindred runs out of the brushes and gets that E mark on, then you just runs down, then you've got the Tristana getting multiple resets, Rocket jumping into the fight, then it can go heavily in the favor of the Knights. So these first few skirmishes are going to be so important. And guys, we know the drafts. Pick your champions.
Yeah, I don't know. They're taking way too long on that, so we might have to jump to an intermission in just a minute. But who are you banking on, Weapon? Who do you think is going to win this game in the best of 3? This is the final one.
Man, I don't want to bet against the imposter Olaf because we've seen it before. It's incredibly strong, even if it does go down a few kills. But I really like what the Knights have put together here, and I think that I have faith in Kelsey to survive the lane and then be more impactful in the fights and lock down the key targets, and then play alongside the Rel to create space for the Tristana and the Kindred. If they can get that done, I think it's a win, but I think it's going to be a tough one either way.
Yeah, regardless, these teams are going to have to battle out something fierce. It's really nice. Can I just point out before we go to an intermission, it's nice to see some different champions on the board. Really well done. Like, we're seeing Syndra finally. Like, it's a whole new team we're seeing on the Knights. There's a whole new team on Jade Dragon, actually. Like, this series, this last game, they're just like, let's just pull out everything we can and go hard. So guys, we are going to jump to an intermission as we're about to jump into the farm. We got cows, we got horses, we got crocodiles. We're keen to see how it goes. So we'll be back in game in just a second.
I'm running away from the past. Can't make it better. Say that you want me when I'm in the room.
Woo! Ooh, game number 3, Weapon. MCOM Platinum Circuit is popping tonight. We couldn't be more excited to be here with all of you beautiful, fantastic faces in Oceania and the world. But Weapon,
You good?
I'm good.
You good? So your woo got cut off by a compressor, by the way.
I wooed so hard. I'm
sorry. Yeah, there's a real big woo. But we are on game 3. So hey, this is hype. We have some engaged supports, sort of. Rel kind of does engage things. Seraphic Blade is on the Alistair, which has been recently buffed. So great news. The Age of Enchanters is over, and we get to see some brawls in the bot lane. Now, right now, it's just going to be a line of scrimmage. Let's see where these junglers do look to start. And just while we're waiting for the game to start, also nice little pickup of award by the Kindred, little boosty in gold and XP. So many pings on the Olaf Ghost at the start of the game, which means that I think we may be looking at a bit of an early gank up towards the top side to prevent the Olaf from getting rolling, because as we know, no teleport means you don't get to get those easy resets off. Yep. And that first gank, those first 2 ganks even, can be so crucial in games like this.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And we actually mentioned this slightly just before we started back on, but first strike Syndra, we potentially wanted to see something like an Airy, but I do like the first strike. I think it can be a bit more aggressive into this lane, because he's hitting every single one of those balls.
Yeah, it makes sense. I personally prefer the area in this matchup because it lets you just straight up win the lane with auto attacks and spells. But the first strike does a little bit of that while also letting you scale into the game and If you get snowballing, then the first strike is just fantastic. So I can understand the choice. I think both are fine, but here's the
I'm so sorry, that's a big fight. Double exhaust, there's the ignite. Looking for everything. Worgen is the line of fight as Kindred picks it up, being down in this bot side. Blue Liqueur gets out alive. And
it's
they're
got
looking
to
to
be
take on
both.
Seraph. You can't believe it, as they do give a double over to Kindred.
It's just a 2-camp into bot, that's all it is, and the Kindred just runs down to the bot lane, has the red buff online. You've got the Rel who just... And she doesn't even use her flash, she just goes forward. I think the Alistair caught at level 1, maybe didn't have the Q available. To check what he's got skilled. He had the Q, so he must have just used it. The interaction, if none of you are aware, is that Alistair hits the ground, that gets the knock-up, so when Rel's W, which takes about 4 hours to land, when she uses that, you can just stop her from hitting it. Doesn't find the window, and Seraphic Blade gets ran down alongside Worgen, and this Kindred, off to the races, is now potentially going to look to spread that lead up towards the top side, help out the Renekton, help out the Syndra. This is great news for the Knight side.
Look, I gotta ask those, like, what do you want to maybe give one of those kills over to the Tristana? It was definitely possible, but it just felt like, was there a little bit of greediness coming out of Tez, wanting that double?
Yeah, it's fine, because the Tristana would like to win this lane, but she doesn't have to. She scales a little bit better than the Draven, so I think the kills being on the Kindred is actually just straight up best case scenario, and pushed wave in mid, looks like Tezaboy's just going to look for some damage here.
This boy, he sees it, and reasons could be caught out, and he's level 4, but he has to burn flash. There's the double flash. Tez is so strong. There's also a fight in the top lane. Conqueror proc.
It's fine, he's just going to walk away, but huge play there by Tezaboy. Just uses the scanner to catch reasons, dipping in, looking for vision, and then goes over the wall, 2 walls in fact, and kills this Kassadin early on. We know the Kassadin scales into a monster, so shutting down that lane as well, really big priority for this Kindred. And Tezaboy coming back from Taiwan, rejoining the squad that he was always meant to be a part of, and really making his impact felt in this game.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely huge. It's nice to see that when you do go overseas to train, at least prepare. But sorry, there is actually a little bit of a fight. Kelsey doing a good job just poking down Olaf.
Yeah, it's fine. So the Olaf is largely going to dictate the priority in this lane, because he has the ability to take free trades with his axe and use the lifesteal to scale back up. So that lane, without jungler intervention, is going to be fairly even until the Olaf hits level 6, at which point he can run down Kelsey through his stuns. So a lot of the action is going to be down towards that bot side. But right now, it looks like Kindred looking to secure another mark in this game. Quick mark check, by the way. One mark.
One mark?
Yep, just the one. So not quite having the bonus range available, but will no doubt get there very quickly if this game continues at this pace.
So that definitely hits the mark with me there, Weapon.
Hey, I got it. Nice one.
Sorry, I'm Papa Pike. If I don't come up with thick daddy puns, I'm not. Why am I even here?
Why are we here?
It also had to be thick. It can't just be daddy puns. It's thick daddy puns. You know there's a bit of a beer belly going on there, Weapon. But no, look, lanes seem to be in a pretty quiet space. The first dragon is available. It is a mountain drag. Gold, in a surprising upset, is a 2k above on blue side, purely from those kills.
2k at 5 minutes is ridiculous, by the way. And a lot of that is going to be on the back of the Kindred, which is about 1.5k richer than almost every single person on this map. She and he, both exceedingly rich, which doesn't seem like it would be a requirement for basically the Grim Reaper, but like they're using that gold to buy items and kill more efficiently, which is, it definitely lends itself into what a Grim Reaper wants to be able to do. And this means that they can take whatever space they want. Right now it's going to be the bot lane, where they are going to be looking to get another mark, and
this is just a big fight as there's the flash coming up from Blazem, and it just doesn't. He just can't get the little lock. But look, he's going for
it.
Kelsey! Flash, he's going forward. Now he's onto the target. He's level 7. That's 2 levels above. Blazem could be the next one. Does try to get a little bit, throws them back. Yes, there's a big ulti coming in. That Crocodile is looking fierce as he wants to do a little bit more. Gets the knock back. He needs a little bit more, and he just can't.
Oh no, the Q knocking back the E2 was really critical there, because I think he actually would have gotten that kill under tower. That second mark is not gonna go the way of the Kindred down towards the bot side. It is in fact going to be traded for a dragon, and a trade offer. We get to win the game, and you guys get a camp. Seems like a pretty good trade.
I like those trades.
Yeah, I would be a fan of those trades if I was a player on the Knights. Like, that sounds great.
Well, it's nice to see that Knights have really stepped up this game. We've seen totally new team comps, which is phenomenal, and they're really pressuring it. Like Morgan's actually doing very good. If we just literally look at the math, he is 15 CS up. This man knows how to last hit.
Yeah, Morgan's doing a good job on his signature Draven pick, is finding CS, but Tezboy sneaky his way into this lane, making a good cheeky lane gank. Rel has flash, doesn't have level 6 yet, but can find the angle, especially if she comes in from a brush or something, catches Seraphic Blade unawares. Don't know if they know Tezboy's here.
They don't know. It is obvious by the way they're pressuring up. I'm expecting just one big jump forward, but it really is the Rel who's going to dictate this fight. And if Tezboy pushes this too fast,
he's just pushing. He is just pushing. They have no idea. There's no way you play like
There's
this.
The engage, the flash forwarded so much they didn't see it. There's the exhaust. There's the ignite. Tezboy picking up another kill. He is 4 kills deep, and Seraphic Blade has to walk out.
It's just so easy for Tezboy down towards the bot side, and completely unaware. Worgen just happily hitting minions, and then he is the one getting farmed by Tezboy. He's staying in the brush. I don't think he's going to find more. They have to reset as this wave crashes, but this Kindred is absolutely massive. Now she's about 2k gold ahead of everyone else in this game. Actually, no, it's closer to 1k, but at least 2k gold ahead of her opponents.
Yes.
That is nuts.
That is so much. I would like to see her sharing that a little bit more. It's nice to see Renekton with a cheeky kill up top, but I want her to, man. Like, you got to share that love.
No, absolutely not. Fed Kindred.
But hold on, there's the flash forward. Wait, it's going so much, but you can't do anything against that Croc.
That is rough, and yeah, just giving the Olaf enough space to run you down. It's exactly what we said. As soon as that level 6 comes in, the ultimate is available. Imposter will start winning this matchup. So this is where you now need to start accelerating this game, and I really like this move. Blue Liquor.
Hey, all here. There's the flash. He's got no ulti. He's got no ghost.
It's dead.
It's Tezzeret again.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly what you needed to do. You just shut down the Olaf. You've deployed your bot lane up towards the top side. You don't care if the Draven and the Alistair get a few plates at this point. You're going to get so much more off of not only just the top side, but also wherever the Herald gets dropped, which looks like it might actually just be a top side play. So
yeah,
you wanted to see them sharing the wealth around. This is going to be the way they do it, by just funneling gold into the Tristana.
Yeah, and that's what I like seeing, as Kelsey has rotated down to the bot, so definitely looks like they will be dropping this Rift Herald top once it's taken. But 2 tower plates over to Worgen. At least they're putting in pressure, which is nice to see. But what can Red Team really do in response besides get tower plates? Like, look, the top tower is going to be gone if they drop it, but here comes Imposter. Still no flash. There's the engage, and Kindred is so big here too. There's the jump over. Blue Liqueur does get the knockback, and Tezza picks up another kill. This guy is running away with it.
Yeah, just every single gank that he's tried has worked. At this point, all you can really do is maybe look to dive Kelsey. Doesn't have the ultimate, doesn't have flash, so he should be backing away right now. He might be dead to this world.
Kelsey is in there. There's the TP coming in. Syndrome wants to join this fight. They threw out a lot. Exhaust is there. Can they do any more? Good stun comes there, actually, but Reasons does get it. Worgen picking up that kill. Sharky now has to flash under his tower. Throws out the orbs, and it's just not enough.
Yeah, really nice juggling with the aggro there, back and forth. Seraphic Blade in particular finds the moment to dip out and make sure that no one goes down in the back end of the play, but they do pick up the kill, but it is traded for a tier 2, and again, trade offer. Like, I don't take that any day of the week, because you're just giving up so much gold over to the enemy team. You can see that gold lead is now ballooned out to about a 4k lead or so, and you're just starting to get drowned out of this game just through sheer force of this Kindred being really, really good.
And now they're just pinging the drag. They know it's coming up in less than a minute. So that's going to be quite interesting to see how they're going to approach this thing. Because the whole team, topside's open right now. Olaf has to sort of stay there, and he wants to probably join these fights, but is he really going to be able to?
He just doesn't have TP either, so there's no way for him to join the fights. So he's just pinioned there in that top lane, catching farm. The Renekton's probably not going to interact with him in any meaningful way for the rest of the game. Yeah. And now you can swap your bot lane back towards your bot lane, actually. Get prio there, you can get this Drake, and the Soul Wincon is just going to continue to be online, and now you have this Rel to act as a bodyguard you can't really approach. So again, we're in a situation where I think the Jade Drag has been called on to be a little bit more creative, and right now the creativity they're showing is Olaf top, and it just doesn't feel like it's quite enough.
I the end of the day, Knights are just running the game. They are playing to how they want to play. They're saying, all right, Tez is fed, play around Tezza. And they're just doing it. And it's phenomenal that they've got this communication going. Tower plates haven't even finished yet. And look, Blue and Kiss has taken bot. Olaf's taken top. What more do you want, Weapon?
Yeah, you really don't want to see much more. Like, they're just doing exactly what they need to do. And this is the one way that I think they do start to lose this game is if Kelsey does just try to go toe-to-toe with Imposter too many times and gets punished for it. So right there, like, you can see he wants to get the wave push, he wants to try and get these last hits, but really he should just be chilling and just not doing that.
Yeah, no, that's not what you want to be doing. Trying to dodge out these axes. Oof.
Like, you are a slight CS deficit, and it will always come to you. So that is fine. Your job is to just hold this tower and stop Imposter from doing things, and maybe look for a TP angle.
What's he
doing it.
What are you doing, Kelsey? Because just why? It was so in sync. Why?
And now you've got the Maokai lurking in the background as well, potentially looking to pull the trigger on a dive. Imposter looks like he just wants to fully reset. Must have an item purchase ready to go, but Kelsey's really flirting with disaster here.
Well, to be fair, like, he does have the item spike, he does have the gore drinker, so fair enough that he wants to maybe take these little skirmishes. But at the same time, Olaf is very strong. Now that he's
Olaf
back
has to being Olaf spike.
Yeah, correct. I hate that spike.
Yeah,
it's too much for me.
It starts at, like, minute 0, and it probably drops off around about minute 30.
Yeah. God damn. But we see some items being picked up. Maokai rushing the Frozen Heart. What are your takes on that weapon?
Yeah, interesting. I mean, they definitely need a little bit more frontline in this game. You can certainly see the argument, but a bit of a departure from the usual demonic embrace looks that we've seen before, especially when you are looking to blow up one of these key targets early. That damage can help, but of course, you know, we're on live. A lot of the professional leagues are playing on a patch where demonic embrace is not quite as nerfed, so I can understand that. Maybe thinking that Maokai's still good, but maybe not the AP build as good. But regardless, it doesn't really feel like you can do a whole lot with the rest of your team. You just don't have a lot of damage, regardless of how much CC you throw down. And you're getting the game really dictated to you by Blue Liquor, who has now closed that CS gap, is about to have that cull pop on him, so an injection of gold. And this Tristana is able to just push any wave that she's nearby, push down towers, and you've always got that threat of Lox and Tezavoy in the background. Just, if you ever do want to look for that engage, you're probably going to get beaten up. Yeah,
it's so true. First tower 10 in the bot lane being taken up. Like, they're just walking through this game now. It's about a 5-6k gold lead right now. Like, absolutely huge. 6 kills on this Kindred. Not even 2 items yet. That is just a phenomenal effort.
I unironically want to see Kelsey build a Sunfire Cape.
Oh.
For wave clear. And for tankiness. It's a good item. But I think that would actually be really good here. I don't know if he'll do it.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah. Sharky has had a reasonably good laning phase for himself as well. Only dropped the 1 kill. Didn't see who that went over to, but as we said, that mid lane matchup is largely winning for the Syndra. And that's translated into the ability to pressure your pressure the river, pressure side lanes, and not really have the casting get involved in things. Now he has reached the level 11, so 2 points in the ultimate, and the Rod of Ages is stacking up very slowly. So he will become a threat as the game goes on, and we really are looking at the Knights to keep this pace up. They're doing an incredible job, but they do need to be cognizant of the fact that Reasons could get to a point where he gets to be a champion.
There is a time limit on this game weapon. We all know this with a Kassadin in the game. The second that Kassadin hits 16, the game's going to shift. And that's what you really need to avoid. We've got 2 dragons on your side. You want to look for that third, as a TP is already heading down to the bot side to clear that wave, but it's probably also to get prio on that drag. It's another Cloud Dragon, man. Come on.
Oh, we're blessed. Blessed by the Cloud Atlas.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Not a fan of the Cloud Atlas. It's okay. The cloud weapons here, but I can see that again. It's a game where there are some upsides. Alistair, Maokai both kind of would enjoy being able to run real fast after they ult, as would probably the Renekton. Everyone else kind of wants to stay a bit static on the Knight side.
Yep.
But it's really just going to be a an excuse to draw people into fight.
Ooh.
You'd probably give this one up if you are the Jade Dragon side. Herald dropped. I don't know if it's going to get much, but it is going to get you this dragon.
Oh, look, securing the dragon is probably what they were just after for this one. If they can get a charge off, brilliant. If they can't, no harm, no foul. Yeah, it's not the most ideal situation, but getting to soul point is pretty crucial at this point in the game.
So the first Herald is Shelley. What do you call the second one? Do you go with Shirley? Are you a Shirley enjoyer?
Actually, I kind of like Shirley. Yeah, that's kind of cute.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that. I think that's the preferred name for most casters. I've heard a few variations. For a while I was pushing Kara, as in like Carapace. But that didn't really catch on. And I get it. It's a bit awkward.
Fair enough. Look good, mate. I like it. I'm a fan.
Thanks. I appreciate it. But I think Shirley works just as well.
Shirley's fine. Shirley, they're cute sisters. Probably wouldn't take them on a date. As long as you're not feeding them crabs, you're good.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't exactly go back to their place because it's in the void.
Oh yeah, no. Well, you never
Actually,
know.
no, I think going to the void does sound pretty good. Actually.
Well, there's a lot of bad things in the void. Belveth being one of them. Mummy Belveth. Oof. I'd go to the void for her.
Are you okay?
But I'm so sorry. Here is a fight coming out. As you can see, they do get the engage on, but it's just... Oh, Sharky does get flashed on too, trying to get away. Cassidy wants this kill. He's flashing too.
Oh, no.
He's actually not done too good, but here comes Willie Q. He's jumping over that wall, wanting to pick up Reason. Getting a little bit of vision. Does care. Get a couple of bombs ticking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. His magnetism is absolutely huge as the roots do come down. But it looks like Sephiric Blade could just be caught out here as that absolute monster, Rel Engage, just gave them so much weapon.
Yeah, Rel just walks into that choke point, drops the ultimate, and there's nowhere for the enemy team to go. Reasons. I think he basically used all of the stacks. No, this
What?
Okay,
No way. Exhaust? No, maybe. Flash?
Wait, Rock.
Can you do it?
Yeah, he's dead. He's dead. That's incredible. So we're going to analyze that one in a second, but let's talk about the previous fight because really sick one by Lox, just walking into the choke point, finds the Rel ultimate on the perfect targets. Pretty sure that Reasons had too many stacks of his Cassidy ultimate to actually ult after the chase, and it took so long for Sharky to go down that they just overextended and invariably just gave up their lives for a kill on the mid laner, which doesn't feel like it's really worth it considering what you traded back. And
Yeah.
you do want to see those picks from the J Dragons, but not if it's at that sort of cost.
It's picks on the right champion weapon. Like, why would you be tower diving the Syndra when you really need to prioritize Tezza on this Kindred? That is 1,000 gold shutdown on that man, and it's looking juicy. So if you can pick, he hasn't used his ultimate once, I'm pretty sure.
I was literally about to say this is a dream Kindred game. For any of you Kindred enjoyers out there, my fellow Kindred enjoyers, a dream Kindred game is where you don't want to use your ultimate at all. You just get to have these separate skirmishes where you get to jump in, mark someone with the knee, drop down the W, and just kill someone, and it's never a team fight.
Yeah, no, for sure. Now, guys, we do get a slight pause here as we have a toilet break actually coming through. So
really?
While that is done, I'm not sure
Very
why,
cool.
because we actually waited for someone at the start in lobby because of a toilet break.
I mean, we had huge breaks between games. It's fine. It's whatever.
That's true. Yeah, I won't be too mad, but come on, guys. I got dinner to get to. I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm actually really hungry, man.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
what's for dinner for you?
Well, it's only 5:30, so I don't actually know. I'll figure that out in a bit. But yeah, it's like what 7, 8 for you?
It's 7:30.
Oh, yes.
Strong, looking
Very
good.
nice.
But no, I think I've got spaghetti for dinner. I'm very excited. Yeah, I love a good spaghetti. That's why I made that awesome meatball joke before, because I was having spaghetti for dinner.
Yeah. So I was actually going to say, where do you think in Runeterra do they have spaghetti?
Zorn.
Zorn? Do you think it's a Zorn thing?
Yeah.
So are you saying, because Zorn is very clearly evil, so you're saying by extension that Italians are evil?
I don't think we should get into the racial identification of this weapon. I feel like we're going down a bad path.
Sure.
But if I had to give you an answer,
Yes.
I'm not saying yes. I'm not saying yes. I'm giving you an honest. I'd like to invoke my right to the Fifth Amendment.
Yeah, sure.
As because we're all oceanic, so we don't know what the Fifth Amendment is. It means I don't have to talk if I don't want to. That might give you the answer in subtext. But pause is going a little bit longer. Probably a little bit too much Gatorade for these games, as we are getting a little bit sweaty in this best of three. Do we go back to the webcam while we're waiting? I feel like if we go, we literally say let's go to webcams.
No, it's
okay. Going to go through.
It will go through. That's fine.
Yeah, I can predict.
And apologies to the entire country of Italy.
Yes.
Now,
Weapon hates you. Yeah. So the second we apologize to Italy, they say you can play again.
I don't. I just think that I think millennia of cultural excellence means that they're slightly acceptable targets. That's what I'm gonna go with. Creating all the good art and stuff, we did.
You know what, man? I just want my spaghetti.
Yeah, just have your spaghetti, man. It's all good.
I just want my spaghetti. That's all I care about. Now, guys, we are having the slight little bug again in the spectator mode. We might quickly just.
I mean, let's just wait. I think we're good.
Are we good? Oh man, every time I say it, we can't. But they pick up a Baron weapon.
Yeah, Baron picked up. Now, like, at this point, this game just feels like it's being won by rote by the Knights.
Yep.
So I think we really are just looking to the Jade Dragons to do something. Now, something is being done to them.
As the sun goes down, Ragnarok has been popped, but that's 3 members deep, trying to do everything, and Sharky gets his first kill of the game.
Really nice. And you know how we talked about how this Olaf was going to hopefully be the win con, or needed to be the win con? It just really hasn't been able to do so. There's been some key moments where they've been able to find the answer to the split push, shut him down. He's 1-4, and he's just not having the impact that he wants to. And they even have a Maokai, right? So like they should be able to gank, but they're just not finding any plays. They just don't have an angle onto the enemy team.
Is this just a lack of proactivity coming from the Maokai? Because you do have the ability to gank, you just need to just go for it. The thing is just drop your ulti and see what happens as they take a tier 2.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's just coming off this priority that the Tristan is buying you, where you're constantly responding to something that's being done to you. So in a lot of cases, it's a wave that's being pushed into, and you, by the rules of competitive League of Legends, must catch that wave. Now, in this case, you do have an angle onto the dragon. It's going to be that Cloud Soul point. I can get in position, but
that was flash. Yeah, that scared the hell out of me. Honestly, it did me a frighten. When horses hextech flash, I freak out. Just because that's a game thing. It's not even in real life when they flash like that. It freaks me out.
Yeah, I've seen a horse flash like that. It was terrifying.
It changed my life.
Yeah. But horses always take hex flash.
Yeah, that's why they don't guaranteed.
They don't use it mid-race because they can't.
Yeah, no, it's banned. Professional. Oh, but there's a Ragnarok as they're going in. The fight has finally started. But look at the damage coming out. Kelsey actually killing off this Brolaf as Reasons is also here. But no, it looks like Velazin wants to get in there. He's still a tanky Maokai. The ulti does come down, keeping them alive. But I feel like you should have waited just a second. But look at the damage coming out. Kelsey is an absolute freak of nature. It looks like they can probably just end the game right here, right now, Weapon.
That's it. It's just one fight around the dragon. They could pick up the Cloud Soul if they really, really wanted to, but they probably don't actually need to because there is a wave bot. They have Baron. They could just run this one straight into the enemy base. It's going to be at least a couple of base towers, I think. Although
I'm expecting
those
2.
timers are ticking down. Yeah, I think you get a couple here.
I'm expecting 2 because Renekton is still on the drag. I don't think they can take all of it because we've got like 3 second timers like on Draven, but an inhib here, big game changer.
Yeah, definitely. Get to give a lot of pressure on that bot lane. It also means that that's no longer a viable lane for the Olaf to do his thing in. Has to potentially look top, which he probably should be because Baron's going to be spawning very, very soon, and you want the Olaf splitting the short lane while the Kassadin goes towards the bot side, but Kassadin is not exactly your win con when it comes to split pushing, so it's just all rough. It's not great.
11k gold lead here, Weapon. Like what? That 10k is usually the time that it says game's over.
Yeah, that's it. This is a game that's very, very, very unlikely for Jade Dragons to walk away with.
But not impossible. How can they come back?
Well, internet issues. If everyone on the Knights disconnects from the internet at the same time.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not even gonna front. I've been way too guilty in the past of giving teams way too much rope. This is a game that's extremely difficult to even conceive of the Knights losing. At this point, they're just going to keep pressure on all waves. They have the Tristana, so they just keep everything pushed. They're going to take away jungle camps. They're going to take away vision, and they're probably just waiting for this Baron, or they might not even wait.
Why wait when you got a Tristana and a Rel just wanting to go in, pushing in this top side, and looks like the Prolove could get caught out, has to pop Ragnarok. They get 2 ultimates for 1 engage.
It's so easy. Like that's one of your key tools in the Olaf ultimate for the side lane pressure, and you're just not going to be able to have that. They can probably play this quite slow, actually. It looks like they're just going to be sieging up onto this top lane tier 1, and with no Maokai ult, there's just no response.
With a Tristana, with an IE and a Zeal? Yeah, nah. Your towers are gone. Oh my god, not a chance to survive. They want to end this one out here and now. But can they do it?
There's no way. They're going to have to back up and look for another opportunity, but they might just regroup on this wave, or they might just run straight to the Baron that is spawning now. Maybe shove in a couple of waves in that mid lane as well to make sure they really can't move on the Jade Dragon side. This is just a foregone conclusion, and really nice display of the Syndra buffs at work, by the way. That you get 100 splinters, instantly basically get a free collector. Very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't know that, funnily enough. That's really sick.
Yeah. So now when you get 100, it's a below 15% health execute, which is actually really big for when she's facing slightly tankier targets.
Yeah, that's nice. Hot damn. Game's pretty low. You can see Rel is, again, still being very aggressive here. Wants to look for something, but no, little sapling's going to reveal her.
Yeah, one of the strengths of the Maokai is that you never really have to face check, although you are going to have to get in there eventually, as this Baron is almost definitely going to be started up as soon as it spawns, and Kelsey just waiting in the pit. I think he's just looking for an opportunity to dive over, maybe.
Oh,
yeah,
look,
just was in.
They're looking aggressive. They want to take the fire. They use the blast cone to get out, but Imposter is here, getting slowed up, has to pop everything he can, but he just can't survive. Just gets absolutely obliterated. He has nothing. But there goes the roots, but they're still chasing. They could go for this. There's the jump forward. Blue, there's the flash, double flash, triple flash. Everything you need. There's the magnetic storm. It's so big. They're going for a little bit more blaze. Gets flashed on again. It's a flash bonanza, ladies and gentlemen. And this could be the end of the game with a double kill to Tristana.
Going to be an easy double for the Tristana off the resets. Really wanted to dive in the fountain, wasn't going to happen. There's still time. Morgan might be dead.
It looks like Morgan just gets absolutely shredded, and they're looking for a little bit more reasons, trying to keep his team in this game as the second tower on the Nexus is taken down. They're looking for blood. They don't care. Shutdown heading over to it, but it's too late, and the game goes to the Knights, an absolutely stellar best of 3.
Let me sit down.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
You chilling?
Oh, I'm chilling.
Nice. It's great news. We've made it. You can eat. Let me fix my camera. And yeah, really just dominant game from start to finish by the Knights to wrap up our series. The Kindred just went ham, and that's really all you can say about this game. She found the angle in the bot lane early. I think she reganked there and then went top. And then the game was basically over. And once you had that winning mid lane matchup set up by Sharky, second incredible performance that I've personally seen from him on this Syndra. I think it's something you need to consider taking away from him. Everything just clicked, and they just walked it in. Didn't even mention Lux as well. Really good performance on the Rel. An awkward champion to make work when you need to be proactive, and found so many good opportunities in choke points where there was just no response for the enemy team, and they were all grouped up to just get mauled by that Rel ult, and there was no response. So
I think that big turning point for that game in particular, not only was the Kindred just getting monster kills, let's take Kindred out of the equation, was that choke point that we saw that the Rel got a huge ultimate on, and then Tristana just came in and cleaned up. Like that there, I feel like was the tipping point where, okay, Tristana's now online. Excellent. Rel is actually online. Like, Rel didn't even finish the second item. Was getting a Bramble Vest and was just like, this'll do. And they'll just end the game there. But actually fantastic. 28-minute game. and Knights were looking absolutely beautiful, really clinical. They played their con. They literally, I think they made few, if any, major mistakes. So it was so hard for the Jade Dragons to actually come back and capitalize on that. But Weapon, is there anything before we go and prep for the end of the night?
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what I wanted to see from the Knights. I think they're the most consistent standard League of Legends team, the best standard League of Legends team in this circuit, and they showed it in that last game, and they definitely showed it in the first game. Where if things go according to plan, if there isn't any major mishaps in one of the lanes, then they just consistently close out games with really good macro and just really good team play. A lot of it is on their opponents, I think, to disrupt that. And we saw that from Imposter a few times, especially in that second game where he was able to just be that massive difference maker. But I think overall, this Knight squad looks like the strongest team in the circuit, maybe outside of what's the team with Aeronautics and the really good AD carry player? I can't remember his name.
Is that Star? Is that the Starcasters?
Starcasters. That's probably the one.
No, Cavalry.
Cavalry. Yes.
It was a 50-50, so.
Yeah, it was very close.
Now, Weapon, before we do end, I actually missed out on a couple things. MVP.
Oh, MVP.
Who do you think got it?
You.
Me?
Yeah, it's you. No, let me think. I think in the wins that they got, I would probably want to give it to Tezaboy for the Kindred performance, and then the...
Garen.
Actually, no. You know what? I'm going to buck the trend. For too long, we've been giving out these what they like to call the boom damage votes for the MVP, and really just rewarding the person who carries the hardest because they get the biggest numbers.
Okay.
Locks.
Yep.
Locks.
I actually agree.
Game 1, Game 2, every single game was consistent, really good performance on the Rakan, and then showed up huge on the Rel, where Tezaboy was just incredibly fed and was just able to do whatever he want. Lox was the one who needed to be there to facilitate the plays and really carry the rest of the team to victory. So I think he's my MVP for the series.
Yeah, honestly, I would agree. I think definitely Lox. But if I had to give it to anyone outside of that, I'd be looking at top. I think Kelsey was doing really good things. Like even again, Garen was pretty good. The Renekton held his ground. But we got Lox here for an interview because we just got baited right into it. Let's go, Lox. How you doing tonight?
Hello,
look, I was just talking with my team, just saying, good job, fellas, and it's got dragged in without any kind of...
oh, no.
Yeah, so I haven't really prepared anything, to be honest.
That's okay, neither have we.
Either.
But look, I think both teams played pretty well, honestly. I was pretty impressed with the boys. Our rotations were... I think our macro was just really good today, honestly. So I can't complain about that.
Yeah, tell us about the development of the macro, man, because you guys obviously MCOM, good coaches and whatnot. It's one of the things we've really seen shine from you guys is just how you play the map. So tell us about the process of learning how to play macro as a team.
I think me and Tezza were very loud during those games. I don't think there was one quiet point in any of those games. There was just constant even when we were behind, all right, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? So I mean. Yeah, I think we just had very good knowledge of what we had to do, and the execution today was actually pretty good. So, yeah.
Yeah, some good moments. And also, I want to ask about this role pick, because it's a bit niche. You don't see it a lot, and you look pretty damn good on it. What was the motivation to pick it, and just some thoughts on the rel in general and how it works?
So pretty much, I said I kind of wanted to get off Rakan. Because, I ruined my 100% win rate, so I was a bit upset about that.
Would be too.
Yeah, pretty much the whole idea was bot lane, that the rel into Ali and Draven is that I can't engage first, so I had to let them engage onto us, and then we counter-engage. They pushed in early, which let our Kindred come for a level 2 gank, and then that kind of set the tone for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
No.
100%. Now, I've got to ask though, how do you find playing with your AD carry? How do you find playing with a Blue Licker? Do you guys feel like you have a good synergy? Do you do you have anything you need to work on maybe that you could potentially put out to the broadcast, and maybe he could be hearing and say, oh, maybe I'm not that great? What do you think is the goal here, right? How do you guys think you work as a duo?
Yeah, I mean, today I think we played really well.
Mm.
We haven't actually played that many games together because I'm a new addition to the team.
Yeah.
I think I'm a very aggressive player, which you might have seen today. So yeah, it's just getting Blue up to back up to scratch of that aggressive play style. It's a lot more harder than just sitting back and just farming. I'm always looking for the next play. So once we kind of get on the same page a little bit, I don't. Yeah, it's gonna be Freelo, honestly.
Yeah, no, I like it. Well, Loz, thank you so much for coming in. I think that was all the sort of little questions we had. Is there anything else you'd like to say about the tournament or anything, just quickly, before we wrap
Shout-outs?
up?
I mean, shout out to the broadcasting team. I think you guys did a great job. So I mean, you can't forget the main stars. You guys did a great job casting. And obviously the boys back at nights. It's great job by the fellas today. And yeah, can't wait for the next games next weekend.
Mate,
Thanks,
we
man.
can't
Wait
wait
there.
either. Thank you so much. Guys, big shout out to Lux, who just joined us for that awesome interview and some awesome gameplay. Weapon, that brings us to the end of the evening. It's time.
It does. We did it. We made it.
So,
You can eat your spaghetti,
look,
and I can go play McCoro.
I need to go call my Italian friends now and let them know that I love them. So that's that's going to be
Love
my
them,
story.
and you don't think they're Zornites.
Yes, correct. We love you and your food. Stay beautiful, the fantastic Italian people. But guys, thank you so much for joining us on this
I think we
awesome
have to address
best of
this.
three.
What's wrong with Zorn?
What's wrong with Zorn?
What's wrong with Zorn? What do you have against
Nothing.
Zorn?
Nothing.
So weird, man.
I just said that they probably have spaghetti. That's all I said, and you turned it into me being some sort of evil person who discriminates. I was like, what the? Okay, well, guys, that is the end of the broadcast. Stay tuned for another best of three coming onto a screen near you. But don't forget to jump into all of our Twitters. So you got Mayhem, you got Weapons, you got mine. But also don't forget to hit up MCOM, jump into their Discord, and stay tuned and hit that follow button down below if you're watching, so you can catch up on the next streams. But from all of us here on the broadcasting team, the admins and the players, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.